She is literally the worst serial killer to ever walk the planet. We're having the best time. There's some stalking involved, there's a kidnapping involved, cyber crimes involved. Honestly, I am so bored. Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be reading books from my physical TBR. So I have been trying to kind of dwindle down my physical TBR over the past like couple of years, and I feel like I have been doing such a good job of that. I'm officially now under 100 books on my physical TBR, which I feel like is so amazing. But obviously I am still buying books and pre-ordering books and having books come in, and I want to make sure that I am reading books that I own faster than I am bringing new books in. So I don't have as big of a physical TBR as some people, which obviously is absolutely amazing. But I will say that I have been working really hard to try and bring down the number of physical books that I own in the last like couple years, and especially the past like couple of months. I've been really intentional with trying to read books that I already own. So I am going to be essentially doing a series of videos where I am trying to read books from my physical TBR, and I haven't really decided how I want to pick the books every time, but for this time I do have all of the books on my physical TBR in a Notion, and I will just be doing a random number generator. So right now I have 91 books on my physical TBR, and so I'm just going to be doing a random number generator to be picking what book I'm planning to read. And so I think I'm going to end up picking 4 books for this video and doing it like that. So that is the plan for this video. I need to grab my phone real quick. And also I did want to just throw out there that if there is a book in a series that gets chosen that I have not read, I will read the closest number to that book. So if I pick a series and I get book 3 but I haven't read the first book, then I'll be reading the first book. So with that being said, I'm going to pull up a number wheel and we are going to spin for our first number. Okay, so our first book we are going to spin. I did not hit screen record, so sorry about that. But so the pick that was selected was pick number 90. So sorry I forgot to hit record, but I also haven't hit record on this either. So we're having the best time. Okay, so let me record my screen really quick. Okay, so now my screen is recording. So we're gonna scroll to pick number 90 and see. Okay, so pick number 90 is Scythe and Sparrow by Brienne Weaver. Okay, so Scythe and Sparrow by Brienne Weaver. This is the 3rd book in the Ruinous Love trilogy, and I actually am on this book in the series, and I'm really excited about this book. So I'm super excited to be reading this with you guys in this video. And now that I've got it together and have been able to record my screen, we are going to be picking again. So I am going to remove this choice and we will be spinning again. Okay, so number 15. Okay, number 15 is Twisted Lies. Okay, so we've got Twisted Lies by Anna Huang, which I feel like this is perfect because I recently read Twisted Hate in January and have been wanting to finish out this series. So I'm happy that this was picked. So we are catching up on series, it seems, in this video. So we've got 2 more picks, so I will be removing that choice and we'll be spinning for our 3rd pick. Okay, next we've got 65. 65 is Unromance. Okay, 65 is Unromance by Erin Connor, and I got this through Aardvark, I think back in January, and I really like this cover, so I'm definitely interested to see if I'm going to like this book. So I'm super excited to read this in this video as well. And now we are going to spin for our 4th pick after we remove this one. Okay, that was so weird. It said 48, but then it glitched or something. I don't know. So we'll just spin again and see what it says this time. We'll see if it gives me 48 again or not. So whatever it is this time is the one that it'll be. Okay, 71. Okay, 71 is Raiders of the Lost Heart. All right, so we've got Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura. And so I recently just bought this book, so I'm really excited to pick this one up and read it. Plus I think this cover is so cute. So that's pick number 4. And you know, we're gonna do one more just for funsies. So we're gonna do a 5th pick. So this will be our 5th and final pick, and we will see what it says. Number 1. I'm hoping that this is not A Little Life. Okay, so number 1 is Two Twisted Crowns. All right, so Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig, and this is the 2nd book in the Shepherd King duology, and I really loved the first book, so I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about the 2nd book in this series. All right, so these are the 5 books that I'm going to be reading in this video. I am really excited about all of these. I feel like Two Twisted Crowns is perfect because it's on my 25 books to read in 2025 list, and the rest of them are like pretty much everything here except for Unromance and Raiders of the Lost Heart is me finishing out a series, and so that is really exciting. So I'm super excited about that. Plus I'm just excited to read all these books with you guys and let you guys know what my thoughts and feels are. So with that being said, I am not going to be starting anything at the moment, but once I do pick the book that I'm planning on starting, I will let you guys know. Hello. Okay, so I guess I'm giving my first update of this video since I did the intro. It's been quite a while since I did the intro, so I wasn't exactly sure what book I was planning on starting with, but it looks like I will be starting with Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segura, and this is already so fun. It is about an archaeologist and they're going on this dig looking for these remains. I just started it this morning. I am 3 chapters in, so I'm on page 34 and I'm enjoying it so far. I feel like it's fun. I don't know. I'm excited to finish this. It's very short, so I definitely see myself finishing this book today. But yeah, I just started it and so far I'm liking it. So we're following Corey, and she's an archaeologist and she is just going about her like daily lives when this random man comes into her office and is like, hey, I have this dig that we need you on. That's all of the details. It's essentially what you've been researching your entire academic career, so that's it. Here's a plane ticket, no more info other than that. And she's like very iffy about it, very skeptical about it, but she ends up deciding to go. When she gets there, her academic rival Ford is heading this dig, and of course she's pissed. This is a dig surrounding her ancestors. She has devoted her whole academic career to researching this and trying to get the funding to go on this dig, and lo and behold, Ford has secured the funding for her dig and is now the lead archaeologist on it. And so it's giving like academic rivals to lovers. They were in school together, they had classes together, and I don't know, so far it's fun, but it seems, because it's dual point of view, which I love. So the first chapter was in Corey's point of view and the second chapter was in Ford's point of view, and it's very like one-sided academic rivals to lovers because she does not like him, but he is obsessed with her. He is so down bad for her. He loves her. Well, okay, I don't know if he loves her, but he's down bad. Like, he is obsessed with her, and I'm eating it up. I feel like this is the perfect book for what I need right now, and so I'm super excited to continue reading this. So I will be reading this today. I do have the audiobook of it, so I will be listening to it while I'm at work today. And yeah, so that is my update for this morning. I'm about to go pack my lunch so I can get ready to head out to go to work today. And yeah, so with that being said, that's my update for now. I will update you guys again probably this afternoon when I get home, especially if I have finished Raiders of the Lost Heart. Hello. Okay, so I am now home from work and I'm going to finish Raiders of the Lost Heart today by Joe Segura. So I was able to listen to some of this while I was at work today, but it was a bit of a busier day, so I didn't get to listen to as much as I would have liked. But I am now 55% into this book. I am on page 189, which is in chapter 12, so a little bit over halfway, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's giving like very fast-paced romance, and I feel like I'm just having a good time. So I'm about to go sit outside and read some of this for a little bit, and yeah, so that's really all of my updates. I have already kind of told you what it's about. There hasn't really been much more of development from what I said earlier. They're just in Mexico and they're looking for Corey's ancestor, so that's really it. But I'm going to take this outside and keep on reading, so that's where we're going right now, and I'm taking you guys with me. So let's go sit outside for a little bit. of the Lost Heart by Joe Sakura, and I enjoyed this. I think I'm gonna end up rating it a 4-star. I feel like it was cute. It was very like standard, I feel like. I think this was a debut novel from this author, and I feel like it was pretty good for a debut. I feel like it was easy to read. I feel like it was fast paced. I will say that the chapters were a little bit longish, but other than that, like, it was completely like fine. Like, we're following Corey, she is an archaeologist. We're following Ford, he's also an archaeologist, and Ford goes on this dig to find these ancient remains and this like dagger and whatnot, and it's what Corey has essentially been researching her whole entire adult life, and Ford ends up bringing her out on this dig. They're very like enemies, very like academic rivals, and they become lovers after spending so much time together in this like forest and like trying to like dig up these bones and find these remains. And it was very fun. It was Indiana Jones inspired, it was Tomb Raider inspired, and I don't know, I just felt like it was really fun. So I feel like 4 stars is like a good rating for this. I think that I would read another book by this author. They did actually just come up with a second book in the series that is following Corey's like assistant or teaching assistant, or like her protege, if you will. And so I think I might pick that book up because I really enjoyed this, and I really enjoyed this. So I definitely think that I will pick that book up at some point, but not right now, obviously, because I will now be moving on to the next book that I'm reading for this video. So I have a couple of options. Obviously, I still have 4 books to read for this video. So I still have Scythe and Sparrow, 2 Twisted Crowns, Unromance, and Twisted Lies. And I think I'm between 2 Twisted Crowns and Twisted Lies right now. But I feel like out of those 2, Twisted Lies is the one that is like calling to me right now. So I think that might be the go-to next. So yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna end up starting. I don't know if I'm gonna start it tonight. It's 7 o'clock right now, and I don't know. I don't really know if I'm in the mood to read. I do need to do some editing, but I'm not really in the mood to do that either. So I don't know. We'll just kind of see how the night goes. I am going to go grab Twisted Lies, and I'm gonna go put this on my book stack for the month and see if I feel like picking it up. I do also have Twisted Lies on my Kindle, so I might bring out my Kindle stand and like read that, but we'll see. But yeah, honestly, that's it for my update. I will update you guys again once I've started Twisted Lies, and yeah, so I'll talk to you guys again later. Hello, happy Tuesday. So I am just now sitting down to do some reading. So I did start Twisted Lies today while I was at work. So I got the audiobook from Audible, so I was able to listen to some of this while I was at work today, but I was actually really busy at work, so I did not get as much of this listened to as I would have liked. So I'm about to do some reading tonight. So I have my Kindle set up over here, and I'm about to lay on the couch and read Twisted Lies. So I made it about 85-ish or so pages into this book. That is the middle of chapter 8. So I'm going to finish this chapter and keep reading. I'm hoping to get a pretty big chunk of this read tonight. It is currently 5:55, and so I would like to go to bed around 9. And I think if I tandem read with the audiobook and the physical book, I think that I can probably get it finished by the time I would like to go to bed tonight. So that is not necessarily the goal, but I'm going to try and read as much of this as I can this evening. So I've got my page turner and my Kindle stand. I'm about to sit here and read this on my Kindle so I can lay down and get comfortable. So that is like really my update. So as far as like Twisted Lies is concerned, obviously this is the 4th book in the Twisted series. In this book we're following Christian and Stella, and Stella is a part of the girlfriend group that the rest of the books are following, and Christian is like the head of the security company, and he owns the building that Stella lives in. Christian is so down bad for... Okay, sorry, I got a phone call, but Twisted Lies. So we're following Christian and Stella. And so essentially Stella comes from like a rich family, but they don't like that she is going into fashion. And so she's trying to like pave her own way in the fashion scene. And then we have Christian, who's the CEO of this like security company. And he is like, has like this like, he doesn't have ties to the mob, but he's giving like mob vibes. Like he's giving like very dangerous man energy. And he owns the building that Stella lives in, and he first saw Stella, it was like so down bad for her, and so now they are in a fake relationship because Stella is also a fashion influencer, and so she is trying to get to 1 million followers so that way she can get like this brand deal or something or another. And in order to do that, she has asked Christian to be her fake boyfriend. And so now we're just following them as they're going to events and stuff. They're at their first event, and so far I'm enjoying it. I'm going to continue reading. I am about to lay here and read. It has started raining, like the bottom is getting ready to fall out of the sky. So yeah, I'm in the house. I've already taken my shower and done everything that I need to do to get ready for bed, eaten dinner and all of that. So I'm just ready to read for the rest of the evening. So it is now 6:11, and so I will be in this spot probably until it's time for me to go to bed at like 9 o'clock. So with that being said, that is my update for now. I might update again when I hit around that 50% mark, but yeah, that's my update for now, and I'll talk to you guys again a little bit later. Hello, happy Wednesday. So I just got home from work. Normally I have class on Wednesday, but my professor canceled this week, so I ended up going to work instead of working from home. But I'm now home and I've gotten ready to like go to bed essentially, but my dinner is cooking in the air fryer, so if you can hear that in the background, I'm sorry. But I'm in my pajamas. I'm ready to settle in and read for the rest of the night. So I am reading Twisted Lies by Anna Huang, obviously, as you guys know, but I am now almost done with it. I'm 441 pages in, so I will be finishing this here soon. I literally have like this much left, and so I will be finishing this tonight. So I wanted to give that update really quickly. I'm enjoying this so far. I'm gonna let Navy out really quickly because he's barking, but I am enjoying this so far, and I'll probably give you guys a little bit more of an update here in a little bit, probably once I finish and give my final rating and things like that on Twisted Lies. Hello. Okay, so I'm actually getting ready to go to bed, hence the change in scenery. We're in my bedroom, and I just finished Twisted Lies by Anna Huang, and I feel like I liked this one. I feel like this one's probably my second favorite in the Twisted series. Maybe you always find something to get into when I'm not looking. So I feel like this is my second favorite in the Twisted series. I feel like my first favorite is definitely Twisted Games, which is book number 2, but this one was fun. Like, it is following Christian and Stella, and Christian's the CEO of this like security company, and Stella is this like fashion influencer, and there's some stalking involved, there's a kidnapping involved, there's just a lot involved, there's a billionaire involved, there's cyber crimes involved. It's just like, it was a really fun time. Like, I feel like this series is a good bridge into dark romance because there is some darker themes, but it's not a dark romance. So I feel like this is like a good space to start if you're looking to start reading dark romance or wanting to see if a dark romance might be more up your alley and up your vibe. I feel like this is a good series to start because it's not necessarily dark, but there are like some darker themes. Like, there are some murders that happen in this and like that kind of thing. Like, there's like a literal shootout in this book, so it's like, yeah, it's giving darker. So yeah, as far as my rating for this, I think my rating is going to be a 4-star. I feel like 4 stars is like a good rating for this, especially since it's like my second favorite in the series. So I feel like this was a good conclusion to the series. I feel like the epilogue really wrapped up nicely. I definitely am hoping to see more of these characters and little glimpses in the Kingdoms of Sin series by Anna Huang. I did read the first book in that series and really enjoyed it, so I do want to continue on with that series as well. But now that I'm officially finished with Twisted Lies, I will be moving on to the next book that I'm planning on reading in this video, which is going to be Two Twisted Crowns. So that is the next book that I'm going to be reading. And yeah, but for now I'm going to bed and I will be starting that book tomorrow. Hello and happy Thursday. So I have a quick reading update. So I did end up starting Two Twisted Crowns today. I was able to read a little bit on my lunch break today. So I made it to page 119 in Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillick, and I'm planning on reading some more of this tonight. I have my dinner going in the air fryer, and once that's done and I'm done eating, I plan to sit and read this for the rest of the night. I don't know really how I'm feeling about this book. This is the second in the Shepherd King duology, and I feel like I might have waited a little bit too long between books to start this one. I feel like I really would have liked this story a bit more if I would have read them in tandem, but I also feel like the things that are happening in this book are so like on the opposite end of what was happening in the first book. So I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm still getting enough of a background to fall into this book, and I'm definitely interested to see how this book is going to end. But that is my update for right now. I'm really only about 25% in, so I will continue to update you as I read some more, but I thought I would just go ahead and give that update really quickly. I'm gonna go eat dinner, I'm gonna read some more, and I will talk to you guys again a little bit later. Hello, happy Friday. So it is a little bit later on Friday. It is currently 7:26 p.m. and I am just now sitting down to read for literal first time today. So I did not do any reading at all today in Two Twisted Crowns because I have been working, and then after work I did have a couple of errands to run, but I'm now sitting down ready to read. I've got my ambient room on in the background and I'm ready to knock out some pages in Two Twisted Crowns. So last night, because I don't think I updated you guys before I went to bed, but last night I was able to make it to page 194, which is the start of chapter 27. So I am a little bit less than halfway. I'm about 40% into this book, 40-ish, 45-ish percent into this book, and I'm enjoying it. I did end up leaving off on a cliffhanger, so I'm definitely interested to see where things are going to go. I wanted to end off on a cliffhanger because I wanted to make sure that I was in the mood to pick this back up again, because I've been feeling like I am having a bit of a hard time with this book and wanting to pick it up, and I think probably because it's been so long since I read One Dark Window, but in reality it really hasn't even been that long. So I don't know, but I am going to be continuing reading this evening. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to sit here, get comfy, I guess, and pick this up. So that is my update for right now. I'll update you guys again a little bit later. I don't know if I'm going to end up finishing this tonight. I'm gonna see if I can try and knock it out. I do have something to do in the morning, but my plans this weekend are to literally just sit and read. I am done with all of my homework that was due this weekend, so literally the plans are to just read. I might see about trying to get ahead on some homework for next week, but I don't know, we'll see. But that is my update for now. So I'm gonna get to reading and I will talk to you guys again later. Okay, so it is now 9:19 and I think I'm about to go to bed. So I've been listening to the audiobook of Two Twisted Crowns while following along because honestly I am so bored. Like I am not liking this book the way that I liked the first one, and I don't know if it's because it's been a few months since I read One Dark Window, or if I'm just like not loving the direction that the story is going. I also am not a fan of travel books. I have said this quite a few times in the past. Travel fantasy is just not something that I enjoy. I don't enjoy the whole like traveling the majority of the book. Like, I just am not a fan of that. And that's what's happening in this book. There's quite a bit of travel going on. They're like in the wood, they're like trying to find these cards, and they're like traveling all over the place. And like, I'm just like not loving that aspect of this book. I feel like there is a romance that is happening in this that is a little bit different than the romance that was in the first book. And I feel like I'm enjoying it, but it's giving like slow burn. Like, it's definitely like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time with this one. Like, for some reason, I feel like it's just dragging. I feel like the writing is just dragging a little bit more. I feel like I'm just not as into the story. I feel like I don't really care about what's gonna happen. I feel like the first book was just so much better in my opinion. And I don't know why I'm not really connecting with this book. I wonder if it's because I did wait so long between reads. But I am going to be putting this down for the evening. I was going to try and finish this tonight, but I am just so bored right now trying to read this, and it's getting late, so I'm like getting sleepy. Like, it's making me sleepy. Like, I've been trying to read it and I just like, I'm not into it. So I think I'm gonna put it down for the night. I think I'm gonna go to bed because I am sleepy, and like I did mention, I do have something to do tomorrow morning, so I want to go to bed at a decent time, and maybe I'll wake up and see if I can finish this tomorrow morning before I have to leave. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just like not vibing with this the way that I thought I was going to, and especially because I was literally so excited to pick this book up. Like, I was so excited because like I loved One Dark Window. I gave it 4 stars. Like, it was just so good to me. But now this, I'm just feeling like, I don't know. But I'm happy that this is only a duology, because I feel like if it was longer, I don't know if I would continue after. But I'm definitely interested to see the way that this book is going to end, and if we get a happily ever after, and if everything works out like it's supposed to. But yeah, I don't know. That is my update for now. I was able to make it to the start of part 3, which was the goal for the evening before going to bed if I decided that I didn't want to finish it tonight. And so I'm now on page 321. So making my way through, hoping to finish this tomorrow. And I will, of course, give you my final thoughts and my final rating for this book tomorrow once I finish it. But for now, I'm putting it down and I'm going to bed, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Good morning. So Navy and I have come to report that I have finished Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. So I enjoyed the ending. I definitely feel like I liked the ending a bit more than I liked the middle bit, or maybe I just was like more into it today than I was yesterday. But I think I'm going to end up rating this book 3.5 stars. So I feel like I did myself a disservice by waiting so long to read this after reading One Dark Window, because I just didn't feel as invested in the characters and the storyline. Like, I just wasn't as invested, and I just didn't care as much as I did. And I think it's because I didn't remember exactly everything that was going on. I am happy with the way that it ended. It was a very like strong ending in my opinion. I feel like the way that things were resolved, I feel like I was happy with, and yeah, I don't know. So I think 3.5 stars for this book. I am happy that I finished this. So I don't know. I'm happy to be moving on now that I've officially finished this. So I feel like I might revisit this duology later and try and reread the second book, because I did really enjoy the first book so much. But yeah, I don't know. Those are my thoughts on Two Twisted Crowns. I do definitely still recommend this series if you're looking for gothic fantasy, but I don't know, I don't read a whole lot of gothic fantasy. So that is my update on Two Twisted Crowns. But now that I am officially finished with that book, I will be moving on to the next book that I was planning on reading in this video, and that is Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver, and I'm really excited to read this one. I've been hearing some pretty good things about this book. I have been hearing that this one is better than Leather and Lark, which that one wasn't my favorite. I preferred Butcher and Blackbird over Leather and Lark, so I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about this book. I know this follows Fionn and Rose, and so I'm just interested to see what I'm going to think about this. So I did recently read Lights Out, and it was a dark romance, kind of similar to this, like a dark rom-com, but that wasn't as dark as I had expected. I definitely feel like these books are a little bit darker, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if I'm in the mood for a dark romance, but we're gonna see how I feel about this one. So I'm expecting this one to be like dark but light, if that makes sense. I know that's like contrasting, but that is what I'm thinking. I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this one. I do have to leave in like an hour, so I'm gonna see how much of this I can read in the next hour. And yeah, so I'm gonna get to reading, and I will update you guys again a little bit later when I have some more thoughts on Scythe and Sparrow. So I'm now back home. It is currently almost 1 o'clock. So I was able to read some of Scythe and Sparrow before I left, and I made it to page 75, and this book does not have chapter headings, or like the chapters aren't numbered. So I'm on chapter, ta-da. So I don't know exactly what specific chapter that I'm on, but 75 pages in. So far I'm enjoying it. It's starting off a little bit different than I had anticipated. So from my understanding, obviously Fionn is a doctor and Rose is a serial killer, but she's not a very good serial killer. Her first attempt starts off pretty rocky, to say the least, and so that's how she ends up meeting Fionn. And it seems that this book is running in tandem with like Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark. So at this point we have had an appearance of Lachlan, and at least I think it was Lachlan. Yeah, Lachlan. So we've had a sneak peek of Lachlan so far, and he has not met his other person. I forget everybody's names. Like, it's been so long since I read the other two that I've forgotten everybody's names, but Lachlan is from Leather and Lark, and I forget the name of the girl that he ended up with, but he has yet to meet her in this book. So it's running tandem with that, and so I'm definitely going to continue reading this today throughout the day. I am probably about to go take a nap really quickly, and then once I wake up from my nap, I'm locked in on Scythe and Sparrow. So I definitely do see myself finishing this today. That is the goal for sure. So that is my update for now. I'll probably update again once I hit around 50% mark and give more of my thoughts on the book. But yeah, that's my update for now, and I will talk to you guys again a little bit later. Hello, good evening. So it is now 10:38 p.m. and I just finished Scythe and Sparrow. So I know that I said I was gonna update you guys around the 50% mark, but honestly I was kind of bored. Like, okay, so my rating for this book, I'm giving it 3.5 stars. I feel like this one was in between Butcher and Blackbird and Leather and Lark. So I definitely feel like Butcher and Blackbird was my favorite, then this one, and then Leather and Lark. And so obviously in this one we're following Rose and Fionn is like the youngest brother of the Kane brothers, and Rose is a part of this like traveling circus, and she is also a serial killer. She is known as the Sparrow. She goes around with the circus, she reads tarot cards, and then there's essentially like women who are in these like volatile relationships and situations. They like come to her and she essentially like takes care of that for them. Except she is literally the worst serial killer to ever walk the planet. And I think the only way that she was able to get away with it for so long is because of the fact that she was in the circus. But even still, like, I feel like she was just so bad at it. Like, it was so bad. Like, it was so hard to read because she was literally so bad. Like, I'm not understanding how nobody caught on, how she never got caught. Like, it was not very, like, yeah, I don't know. Her storyline was just very odd to me. And then obviously, like, with Fionn there at the end and some of the, like, things that transpired, I don't know. Yeah. But I will say there was a few points in here where I feel like Brynn Weaver really touched on the friendship between Lark, Sloane, and Rose. And I really, really enjoyed those scenes of them, like, being there for each other. And especially the coffee shop scene with Rose and Lark. I really enjoyed reading that scene, and I really liked the way that we were diving more into their friendship. And so that is, like, one of the things that I liked about this book. But other than that, I'm just happy to be done reading it. Like, it took me a minute to want to pick it up. Like, I ended up picking it up a little bit later than I had planned today just because I wanted to finish editing a video. But then I felt like I was kind of having to force myself to kind of pick it up. Like, I don't know if I was, like, really in the mood for this type of book. I don't know. But I don't know if I'm in the mood for anything lately, so I don't know. But I am happy to have finished this book. So with that being said, I will now be moving on to the final book that I'm planning on reading in this video, and that is Unromance by Erin Connor. I have heard nothing about this book. I haven't seen anyone talk about it. I got it in my aardvark box in February, I think, or January, and I haven't heard anyone talking about this. I haven't heard anything about this. So I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. I honestly don't even know what this book is about, but I thought the cover was cute, and I love that they're eating french fries and drinking milkshakes on the cover. So I was sold. But I think I will be starting this tomorrow morning. My goal is to obviously finish this book tomorrow. It doesn't seem like it's that long. It's like 340 pages, and the font is pretty big, so I feel like I can definitely finish this tomorrow. But since it is almost 11 p.m. I don't think that I am going to start this tonight. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go to bed. So with that being said, I will probably update you guys tomorrow on my reading progress once I start Unromance. And yeah, hopefully we'll be closing out this vlog tomorrow if I can finish Unromance. So that is my update, and I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Good morning. So I am ready to sit down and start reading Unromance by Erin Connor. So I just made my coffee. It has been a bit of a slower morning. So last night the time changed because daylight savings is now officially over, and so the time, we lost an hour. And so my watch updated, but I'll give it back to you in just a second, okay, buddy? So the time changed last night, so daylight savings has officially ended. So my watch and phone and everything is now the right time, but my clocks and stuff are not. So my watch is reading 10:24, but it was 9:24, like it would have been 9:24. So basically I woke up at what used to be 6 a.m. but was now 7 a.m. and whatever. Anyways, you guys probably don't care about that. But so I'm about to sit here and start reading Unromance, and I'm gonna drink my coffee, and I'm gonna try and do like some little montage-y footage because I feel like I've been kind of slacking on that for this video. So I am going to be doing that today. So I want to make sure that I can finish this today. So it is pretty short. It's like 340 pages or so. So I definitely think that I can read this in the next few hours. But with that being said, that's my update for now, and I'll update you guys again a little bit later. Okay, so I've been reading Unromance by Erin Connor, and this has taken me a little bit longer to read than I would have anticipated or liked, because I started reading this earlier today and the first little bit really kind of drew me in, and then I got like disinterested in this book, and I don't know if maybe I'm like falling into a slump. I don't know if it's the book, but I will say that now that I'm a little bit further in, I'm over halfway at this point, and I'm actually enjoying this a lot more now than I was earlier today. So I don't know if maybe it's just me. I don't think it's the book. I don't think there's really anything wrong with the book. I am actually really enjoying the book now that I'm like into it a little bit more. So essentially we're following Sawyer, and she is a romance author who essentially like no longer believes in love. Like, she has had her heart broken. She feels like rom-coms are just kind of like unrealistic and that they lead to heartbreak. And then we're also following Mason, and he is an actor and he is a hopeless romantic. He is a relationship guy. He's always in a relationship, is always wanting to be in a relationship, is like doesn't really know how to be single, and is so enamored with love that he just wants that kind of relationship, and he wants to be in love. And so he's had a lot of relationships end where he has been hurt because he has been more into the relationship than the other person, and so they essentially agree to help each other out. So they meet in an elevator. They get stuck in an elevator together for like 10 minutes, and it starts off like that. They then see each other again at a bar where they then have a one-night stand and then decide that they are going to counteract each other. So she is essentially going to ruin rom-coms for him, and he is going to inspire her to write romance stories for her book, and I'm enjoying it so far. We are at the third act breakup right about now, which I don't know. We're still technically, I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess we're at the start of the third act, I guess. But so I'm 214 pages in. I'm on chapter 20. So I still have over 100 pages left. So I feel like it is coming a little bit earlier in the book, which I feel like I appreciate, because I feel like when it's too close to the end and then it's like they're broken up until the epilogue, I feel like that just is like, I don't know. But I feel like because they're breaking up a little bit earlier in the book, I feel like it's giving time for them to adjust and recalculate and find a way to actually work things out. So I'm definitely interested to see where things are going to go in that aspect. I feel like the writing style is easy to read, very easy to understand. Of course it is a romance book, but I don't feel like the writing's too lyrical or too complex or not making any sense or bad or anything like that. I think it's just very easy to read, and I'm enjoying the story, and I am going to keep going. I would like to finish this before going to bed tonight. It is 7:17, so it's like, it feels like it shouldn't be that late, obviously, because the time changed last night. So I still haven't set my like oven and microwave clock, so it still says like 6 when it's currently like 7 right now, but it definitely does feel like it should still be 6 p.m. but that is beside the point. But I am going to continue reading. I'm hoping to finish this within the next hour or so, and I will give you guys my final thoughts on this book once I have finished it. Hello. Okay, so I wanted to give my final update and close out this video. So I finished Unromance by Erin Connor, and I have decided to rate this book 3.75 stars. I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was a cute romance where we're essentially following these two people, one who is a really big romantic and the other who isn't as much, hasn't really had the best luck in love, either one of them, honestly, and they're essentially trying to desensitize each other. He's trying to help her write again since she is a romance novelist, and she is trying to help him kind of be single and figure out what that looks like for him. And they end up, of course, falling for each other because it is a romance. And honestly, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good time. There was a little bit there that I feel like kind of dragged in like the first little bit, but I do feel like the first like chapter to 5, the first 5 chapters really did kind of like draw me in. but then there was a little bit of a lull where I just kind of wasn't really interested in the story, and then it did pick up again towards the end. I will say that I feel like the story itself was a little off on the pacing. I felt like it was honestly really fast paced, but also very slow paced at the same time. Like, I feel like the story was really fast paced, but there were certain elements that I felt like kind of dragged the story a little bit. But overall, I really enjoyed it. I would recommend this book if you're looking for a easy romance to read. And it takes place like during the holiday season, so I guess I would probably save this kind of closer to like New Year's, Christmas time, because that is when this book is set. So yeah, that is my thoughts on Romance, which was the last book that I was planning on reading in this video. So that means that this video is officially over. I was able to read 5 books from my physical TBR. So my physical TBR now has 5 less books on it, which is the goal. I want to try and get it to as low as I possibly can. I still have been bringing in books as I've been trying to read books, but I am trying to really control my like book buying and things like that, because I want to try and read more of the books that I already own. So I feel like this video was a really good step toward that goal. And I feel like overall this video was a success. And with that being said, that is going to be all for today's video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I'll have all of my social media linked in the description. If you have made it to this point in the video, leave a milkshake emoji for the cover of Unromance, since they are sitting in a diner. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.